The 22 paths of the Tree of Life in Kabbalah are a profound exploration of the dynamic processes through which the infinite potential of the divine is expressed in the structured material world. Each path serves as a bridge between the Sephiroth, the 10 emanations of divine energy, guiding us from abstract principles of existence to the tangible realities of our lived experience. These paths represent transitions and relationships that are essential to understanding the flow of divine energy and the interconnected nature of all things. They illustrate how the divine manifests and interacts within creation, offering a roadmap for spiritual ascent and a deeper understanding of the cosmos. Our triadic models, which categorize relationships into distinct patterns of mutual influence, reinforcement, and transformation, offer a more explicit and structured way to model the complex interactions that the 22 paths describe. The non-linear, holistic nature of these triadic relationships mirrors the wisdom encoded in Kabbalah, where nothing exists in isolation, and each element is inextricably linked to others in a web of interdependence. By aligning these triads with the paths of the Tree of Life, we uncover the deeper layers of meaning within each transition, identifying the often overlooked third concept that unifies and completes the relationship between two seemingly separate states. This alignment is not merely a coincidence, but a reflection of the inherent order and interconnectedness that both Kabbalah and our triadic models seek to illuminate. Kabbalah teaches that reality is a continuum of relationships, where each sephira, emanation, and path plays a crucial role in the unfolding of the cosmos. Similarly, our triadic models provide a framework for understanding how different aspects of reality influence and reinforce one another, creating a more comprehensive picture of the processes at work in the universe. Through this analysis, we bridge the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah with contemporary approaches to understanding complex systems, demonstrating that the principles guiding the mystical ascent towards divine unity are also the principles that govern the dynamics of relationships in all areas of life. This integration offers not only a deeper appreciation of the Tree of Life, but also a powerful tool for exploring the interconnectedness of all things, inviting us to see the hidden patterns that shape our world and our place within it. The path from Keter to Chokmah is represented by the letter Aleph, which symbolizes an ox. In the context of the Tree of Life, this path marks the first emanation from the boundless potential of Keter, or crown, into the realm of Chokmah, or wisdom, where wisdom begins to take form. This represents the primordial connection between the infinite and the finite, setting the stage for the unfolding of all subsequent creation. In Kabbalah, Aleph is also seen as a silent letter, representing the ineffable nature of the divine, and it is often linked with the element of air, emphasizing its role in the breath of life. The shape of Aleph itself is said to contain the entire Torah, symbolizing the connection between the infinite wisdom of Keter and the emanation of this wisdom into Chokmah. The numerical value of Aleph is 1, reinforcing its association with unity and the singularity of the divine source. In the context of the triad of coexistence, Keter and Chokmah are not just in a relationship of one to another. They exist together in a state of mutual potential. Keter, as the infinite source, inherently contains all that is, including Chokmah, the first differentiation of wisdom. This path exemplifies the the coexistence where the potential Keter and the first act of creation Chokhmah are inseparable and define each other. By considering the symbolic representations and meaning of the letter, we identify the mediating element that enables the transformation of the path. Aleph provides our third concept as the breath of life or unity. Aleph bridges the infinite potential of Keter and the emerging wisdom of Chokhmah, representing the unifying principle that allows the infinite and the finite to coexist. Aleph signifies that wisdom is intrinsically part of the potential, unified in the act of creation. The path from Keter to Binah, symbolized by the letter Bet, shapes potential into understanding. In Kabbalistic tradition, this path represents the formation of a vessel or structure that can contain and give shape to the formless, laying the groundwork for the manifestation of the divine into the realm of understanding. Bet, as the second letter of the Hebrew alphabet, has a numerical value of 2, symbolizing duality, differentiation, and the concept of creation within a contained space. The shape of Bet is like a house with an open side, signifying the beginning of creation and the idea that creation is a contained process that emanates from an initial point of origin. In the Torah, the word Bereshit in the beginning begins with Bet, highlighting its role in the formation and structuring of the universe. Bet also represents the feminine principle in Kabbalistic thought, aligning with Binah's association with understanding and the creation of form. The equilibrium triad suggests a balance between the formless potential of Keter and the structured form of Binah. The transition from the limitless to the finite requires a delicate balance, as too much form limits potential, while too little form fails to give rise to understanding. As the third concept, Bet means house or dwelling. Bet symbolizes the formation of structure that allows the infinite potential of Keter to be contained and expressed within the structured understanding of Binah. Bet, as a dwelling, represents the equilibrium where potential is realized within a balanced, structured form. The path from Chokhmah to Binah, associated with the letter Gimel, represents a bridge or path between places. This path represents the interaction between Chokhmah, wisdom, and Binah, understanding. It is the bridge where raw, undifferentiated wisdom is given structure and meaning through the understanding that Binah provides. Gimel, with its numerical value of 3, is associated with the concept of movement and the idea of giving and receiving, which ties into its symbolic meaning of a camel, a creature that carries goods across great distances. In Kabbalistic tradition, Gimel is often connected with the idea of kindness or the act of beneficence, as the camel provides sustenance in harsh environments. The letter's shape is said to represent a rich man running after a poor man to give him charity, further emphasizing the dynamic interaction between Chokhmah and Binah, where wisdom gives structure to understanding. In the context of reinforcement, the path reflects how wisdom reinforces understanding and vice versa. Chokhmah's wisdom is meaningless without the structure that Binah provides, and Binah's understanding is empty without the wisdom it structures. They reinforce each other, creating a cycle of continuous learning and deepening knowledge. As the third concept here, Gimel is the camel, symbolizing the transfer of energy. It acts as the bridge from the raw, undifferentiated state of wisdom to the organized, structured domain of understanding. Gimel embodies the process of reinforcement between these two forces, where wisdom is structured into understanding, and understanding reinforces and gives form to wisdom. The path from Chokmah, wisdom, to Chesed, mercy, is represented by the letter Dalet. This path captures the expansion of wisdom into the realm of Chesed, or mercy, or loving kindness, where the creative energy of Chokmah, or wisdom, begins to flow outward into the world. Dalet, with a numerical value of 4, symbolizes material reality and the 4 directions of space, making it a foundational element in the structure of the physical world. Dalet also represents humility, as its name derives from the Hebrew word for door, which in Kabbalistic interpretation suggests the ability to open oneself to others or to higher wisdom. Dalet's shape, resembling a bent-over figure, symbolizes the humility required to transition from the wisdom of Chokmah into the loving kindness of Chesed, where creative energy flows outward. It is the passage where wisdom, Chokmah, is not just understood as in the Binah connection, but is expressed as loving kindness and creative energy. The feedback triad suggests a reciprocal relationship where wisdom expands into mercy and is reflected back, influencing further wisdom. The movement is not one way but cyclical, where the loving kindness generated informs and deepens the wisdom from which it originated. The third element is Dalet, the door. Dalet symbolizes the passage through which wisdom expands into Chesed's loving kindness and then returns as refined wisdom. It represents the entry point for this cyclical exchange of wisdom and mercy, enhancing and deepening both in the process. The path from Bina to Gebura, associated with the letter He, represents a point of transition or perception. This path signifies the movement from the structured understanding of Bina, which means understanding, to the disciplined force of Gebura, known as severity or strength, where boundaries and limits are established. He, the 5th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, is linked to the number 5, which represents grace and the process of revelation. He is often associated with breath and the act of speaking, symbolizing the articulation of thought into form. The letter itself is composed of a dalet and a yod, the I hinting at the balance between the physical world and the divine spark within it. He is also a central letter in the divine name YHVH, where it represents both the feminine aspect of creation and the process of manifestation, aligning with Bina's role in giving form and Gebura's role in setting boundaries. The causal triad reflects the direct cause-effect relationship, where understanding naturally leads to discipline. Without the boundaries set by Gebura, the understanding of Binah could remain too abstract or formless. Discipline is the natural outcome of structured understanding. The connector is He, which can be interpreted to represent a window. He symbolizes the point of transition, where understanding Binah leads to discipline, Gebura. As a window, it offers clarity and perspective, representing the causal process through which structured understanding necessitates the imposition of boundaries. The path from Chesed to Gebura, symbolized by the letter Vav, which translates to nail or hook, represents connection and union. This path signifies the balance between Chesed, meaning mercy or loving kindness, and Gebura, which stands for severity or strength, harmonizing these seemingly opposing forces. Vav, with a numerical value of 6, symbolizes connection and continuity, often representing the hook that links heaven and earth. Vav is also the 6th letter in the divine name YHVH, where it represents the androgynous aspect of creation, the link between the masculine and feminine principles. In Kabbalah, Vav is seen as the channel through which divine energy flows, connecting the expansive, loving force of Chesed with the constraining, disciplining force of Geburah. The shape of Vav, resembling a hook or a nail, further emphasizes its role as a connector, bringing together and balancing opposing forces. The reversion triad suggests a cyclical balancing act, where the expansion of Chesed reverts to the contraction of Geburah and vice versa. It is a dynamic equilibrium where each force defines and limits the other, creating a balanced state. The intermediary is Vav. The nail or hook symbolizes the connection and union between Chesed and Geburah, representing the reversionary process where these forces balance each other. Vav holds the forces together, ensuring that they remain in a state of dynamic equilibrium. Vav, as a symbol of connection, underscores the necessity of linking mercy and severity to create a balanced, unified force that sustains and regulates the flow of divine energy in the world. The path from Chesed to Tifereth, represented by the letter Zayin, meaning sword or weapon, signifies the transformative power of discernment. This path reflects the process of integrating the expansive love of Chesed, which translates to mercy or loving kindness, into the balanced beauty of Tifereth, known as beauty. Zayin, with a numerical value of 7, is deeply connected to the idea of completion and the Sabbath, the seventh day of creation, which signifies rest and the manifestation of divine order in the world. Zayin is also associated with the sword, representing both protection and the ability to discern and cut away illusions. The shape of Zayin, resembling a scepter or a sword, underscores its dual nature as both a tool of protection and a symbol of divine authority. The nonlinear triad suggests a transformation that is not straightforward, but involves a discerning process where love is filtered and refined before manifesting as beauty. The path is not direct, but requires a nonlinear integration to achieve the balance represented by Tifereth. The third element of the triad is Zayin, the sword, symbolizing the discerning action required to refine and manifest love in a harmonious, beautiful form, where mercy is transformed into a central, balanced expression within the Tree of Life. Zayin symbolizes the tool of discernment necessary for refining Chesed's love into the harmonious beauty of Tifereth. It represents the non-linear, transformative process where mercy is channeled and perfected into a balanced, beautiful expression. The path from Geburah, or strength, to Tifereth, or beauty, is associated with the letter Chet. This path emphasizes the role of boundaries in achieving the balanced harmony of Tifereth. This path represents the role of discipline and boundaries in shaping the harmony and beauty of Tifereth. It suggests that beauty and balance are achieved through the application of disciplined structure. Chet, the 8th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, symbolizes life, vitality, and the concept of transcendence, often represented by the Hebrew word chai, life, which also has the numerical value of 18, Chet, 8, Yod, Shar 10. In Kabbalah, Chet is seen as a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms, marking the transition from discipline to beauty. The shape of Chet resembles a gate or an archway, signifying the threshold through which energy must pass to be refined and harmonized. Chet's association with life and vitality is particularly relevant in its role of transitioning from the strictness of Geburah to the life-giving balance of Tifereth. The retrospective triad reflects how boundaries and discipline, when looked back upon, are seen as essential to the creation of balance and harmony. It is only in hindsight that the necessity of boundaries becomes clear in the formation of beauty. Completing the triad then is Chet, meaning fence or enclosure, and symbolizing the boundaries formed by the discipline of Gebura's severity or strength, and shaping the possible forms of the beauty and balance of Tifereth. It represents the enclosure that creates the necessary space for harmony to be structured and maintained. Chet, as a symbol of enclosure, reflects the necessity of creating boundaries to shape and maintain the beauty and balance found in Tifereth, ensuring that the disciplined force of strength in Gebura is harmonized within the central sphere of the Tree of Life. The path from Tifereth to Netzach, represented by the letter Tet, symbolizes transformation and renewal. This path captures the movement from the balanced harmony of Tifereth, also known as beauty, into the dynamic, victorious energy of Netzach, which means eternity or victory. Tet, the ninth letter of the Hebrew alphabet, is associated with the concepts of goodness and hidden potential. The shape of Tet is said to represent a womb, symbolizing the hidden, nurturing aspect of creation where potential is developed. In Kabbalah, Tet is often connected with the idea of transformation and renewal, as seen in the serpent, which sheds its skin to grow. This aligns with the path from Tifereth to Netzach, where balanced harmony is transformed into victorious action. Tet's numerical value of 9 also ties it to the concept of finality and completeness, as it is the last single-digit number, representing the culmination of a cycle. The inclusive triad suggests that the harmony of Tifereth includes and channels into the victorious energy of Netzach. The balanced energy is not lost, but is instead incorporated into the active pursuit of success. The third concept here is Tet, as the serpent. It symbolizes the transformative process by which harmony is channeled into action, leading to success and victory as energy is renewed and directed toward achievement. The serpent symbolizes the transformation and renewal that occurs as the harmony of Tifereth is channeled into the dynamic energy of Netzach. The serpent represents the continuous renewal and active pursuit of success, where harmonious energy is transformed into victorious action. The path from Tifereth to Hod, symbolized by the letter Yod, represents action and manifestation. This path reflects the connection between the beauty of Tifereth, or beauty, and the glory of Hod, known as glory or splendor, where harmony is expressed in tangible form. Yod, the 10th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, has a numerical value of 10, representing the totality of creation and the idea of unity within multiplicity. Yod is the smallest letter, yet it is said to contain the essence of all other letters, symbolizing the divine spark within every aspect of creation. In Kabbalah, Yod represents the point of creation, the first dot from which everything unfolds, making it the seed of all existence. This is particularly relevant in its role in the path from Tifereth to Hod, where the harmonious beauty of Tifereth is manifested in the structured glory of Hod. The shape of Yod, resembling a point or a comma, emphasizes its role as the origin of action and manifestation. The exclusive triad reflects the process by which the harmony of Tifereth is distilled into the specific form of glory in Hod. The transition is exclusive in the sense that it must leave behind what is not aligned with the true form of glory. The third element is Yod as the hand. This symbolizes the active force that brings the abstract beauty of Tifereth into the structured, manifest world of Hod, where form and glory take shape. It represents the exclusive process by which beauty is distilled into a tangible expression of glory. The path from Netzach, victory, to Hod, glory, associated with the letter Kaf, meaning palm of the hand, symbolizes receptivity and power. This path signifies the synthesis of the outward victorious energy of Netzach with the inward reflective glory of Hod. Kaf, with a numerical value of 20, symbolizes potential and the act of receiving or containing. The letter Kaf is often associated with the palm of the hand, which can either receive or give, reflecting the dual nature of action and reflection. In Kabbalah, Kaf is connected with the idea of subduing or bending, as seen in the Hebrew word kippur, meaning atonement, where the ego is bent or subdued before the divine. The shape of Kaf, resembling a bent hand, symbolizes the humility and receptivity required to balance the outward force of Netzach with the inward reflection of Hod. Kaf's role as a container or vessel is crucial in this synthesis, where dynamic action and reflection are unified. The conjoined triad suggests that the outward action of Netzach and the inward reflection of Hod are not separate, but are united in a single dynamic. The path represents the joining of these two aspects into a harmonious whole. Kaf, as the palm, symbolizes the union of these forces, where the dynamic power of Netzach is balanced and harmonized with the reflective, structured energy of Hod, creating a unified expression within the Tree of Life. Kaf symbolizes the synthesis of action and reflection, where the power of Netzach and the receptivity of Hod are conjoined into a unified expression. The palm represents the balance between exertion and reception, creating a harmonious dynamic. The path from Netzach to Yesod is represented by the letter Lamed. This path captures the channeling of the victorious energy of Netzach, or eternity or victory, into the foundational stability of Yesod, or foundation. It is about focusing and channeling dynamic energy into a stable form, creating a solid base for further development. Lamed, the 12th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, is the tallest letter, symbolizing aspiration, learning, and the pursuit of wisdom. Lamed's numerical value is 30, which represents the maturation of understanding and the readiness to impart knowledge. In Kabbalistic thought, Lamed is associated with the concept of leadership and guidance, as its shape resembles a shepherd's staff or an ox goad, both tools for guiding and directing. The letter Lamed is also central in the word Talmud, which means learning, further emphasizing its connection to guidance. In the path from Netzach to Yesod, Lamed's role as a guide is essential for channeling victorious energy into a stable and directed foundation. The bottleneck triad reflects the process where the expansive energy of Netzach must be focused and directed to create the foundation in Yesod. The energy is concentrated, forming a stable base through guidance and direction. The third concept here is Lamed, representing the staff or goad, and symbolizing the direction and guidance necessary to channel the victorious energy of Netzach into the stable foundation of Yesod. It represents the focused effort required to establish a solid base for further growth. The path from Hod to Yesod is symbolized by the letter Mem, oft associated with water. This path reflects the transition of the reflective glory of Hod, or glory or splendor, into the foundational stability of Yesod, or foundation, emphasizing the importance of adaptability and flow. It is about the fluidity and adaptability required to ground spiritual energy into a solid form. Mem, the 13th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, has a numerical value of 40, symbolizing water, fluidity, and the process of transformation. Mem is associated with the flow of life and the concept of gestation, as seen in the 40 weeks of pregnancy and the 40 days of the flood in the story of Noah. In Kabbalah, Mem represents both the concealed, closed Mem and the revealed, open Mem, symbolizing the dual nature of water as both a source of life and a force of change. The shape of Mem, resembling a wave or a closed container, underscores its connection to fluidity and transformation. In the path from Had to Yesod, Mem's fluid nature is essential for harmonizing and grounding the energy of glory into a stable foundation. The harmonic triad suggests a balance where the energy of Had's glory must harmonize with the stability of Yesod's foundation. The transition is about creating a harmonic balance between these forces, ensuring that the energy flows smoothly into a grounded state. The final element, Mem, symbolizes water and the fluidity and adaptability needed to harmonize the energy of Had with the stability of Yesod. It represents the harmonic balance between change and grounding, ensuring that energy flows smoothly into a stable foundation. The path from Yesod to Malkuth is associated with the letter Nun. This path represents the descent of spiritual energy from Yesod into the material world of Malkuth. It is the process where the foundational energy is manifested as physical reality, bringing spiritual ideas into concrete form. Nun, the 14th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, is associated with the concepts of faithfulness, humility, and the idea of life in motion. The numerical value of Nun is 50, symbolizing the fullness of life and the transition to a higher level of existence, such as the 50 gates of understanding in Kabbalistic tradition. Nun's shape, resembling a bent figure or a fish swimming, emphasizes its connection to movement and the continuation of life. In the path from Yesod to Malkuth, Nun's association with life and fertility is key, as it represents the manifestation of the foundational energies of Yesod into the physical reality of Malkuth. Nun also symbolizes the resilience and adaptability required to navigate the challenges of grounding spiritual energy into the material world. The dissonant triad suggests the friction and challenges involved in grounding subtle spiritual energy into the material world. The transition is not smooth and may involve conflict as the spiritual adapts to the constraints of physical reality. The third concept here is Nun. The fish symbolizes life and fertility, representing the manifestation of the foundational energy of Yesod into the physical world of Malkuth. It signifies the fertile ground where spiritual energy is realized in material form, despite the dissonance and challenges that arise during this transition. Through the process of grounding spiritual energy into material form, the life-giving forces of the foundation are realized in the fertility and vitality of the physical world. The path from Tiferet to Keter is represented by the letter Samek. This path signifies the direct connection between the balanced beauty of Tiferet, or beauty, and the divine unity of Keter, known as crown. This path demonstrates the structure and stability required to ascend from the central sphere of Tiferet to the ultimate source in Keter, where all paths and energies converge into the unity of the divine. Samek, the 15th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, has a numerical value of 60 and is associated with support, protection, and the idea of encircling or surrounding. Samek is often seen as a symbol of the divine support that upholds all of creation, embodying the concept of divine providence. The shape of Samek, a closed circle, represents wholeness, continuity, and the cyclical nature of existence. In Kabbalah, Samek is linked to the idea of the Or Makif, the surrounding light that protects and encompasses all things. In the path from Tifereth to Keter, Samek's role as a prop or support is crucial, symbolizing the stability and structure required to ascend from the harmonious beauty of Tifereth to the divine unity of Keter. The convergent triad suggests that all paths and energies in the Tree of Life ultimately converge at Keter, the source of all creation. The beauty of Tifereth is not separate, but is a direct manifestation of the divine, and this path highlights the unity that underlies all things. The third concept here is Samek as a prop or support, symbolizing the stability and structure necessary for the ascent from Tifereth to Keter. It represents the convergent forces that align and support the journey toward divine unity, ensuring that all energies are directed toward the source. The path from Chokmah to Tifereth is associated with the letter Ayin, meaning I. This path represents the descent of the wisdom of Chokmah into the balanced beauty of Tifereth. It is about the manifestation of insight into a form that is harmonious and balanced, reflecting the diversification of wisdom into multiple aspects of beauty. Ayin, the 16th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, has a numerical value of 70 and is associated with the eye, vision, and the ability to perceive and understand. Ayin symbolizes the faculty of insight, allowing one to see beyond the surface and perceive the deeper truths of existence. In Kabbalah, Ayin is linked to the idea of divine providence and the omnipresence of God, often associated with the phrase, the eye of God. The shape of Ayin, resembling an eye, underscores its connection to vision and insight. In the path from Chokmah to Tifereth, Ayin's role is to channel the wisdom of Chokmah into the harmonious beauty of Tifereth, guiding the process of manifesting insight into a balanced and harmonious form. The divergent triad suggests that Chokmah's wisdom, as it descends, diversifies into various forms, manifesting as different aspects of Tifereth's beauty. The path is about the transformation of singular insight into a multiplicity of harmonious expressions. The third concept here is vision and insight, represented by Ayin as the eye, enabling the divergent paths that wisdom takes as it manifests into the harmonious beauty of Tifereth. It signifies the process by which singular wisdom is diversified into multiple expressions of beauty. The path from Bina to Tifereth is represented by the letter P. This path represents the expression of the structured understanding of Bina in the harmonious beauty of Tifereth. It is about the communication of inner knowledge in a form that is both balanced and beautiful. P, the 17th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, has a numerical value of 80 and is associated with the mouth, speech, and the power of expression. P represents the ability to articulate thoughts and ideas, bringing inner understanding into the external world through communication. In Kabbalistic tradition, P is connected with the concept of peh, meaning mouth, which is seen as the instrument through which the divine word is spoken and creation is articulated. The shape of P, resembling an open mouth, emphasizes its role in communication and expression. In the path from Bina to Tifereth, P's significance lies in its ability to express the structured understanding of Bina into the harmonious beauty of Tifereth, giving voice and form to inner wisdom. Here, the abstract is given voice and brought into harmonious manifestation. The combination triad reflects the blending of understanding and beauty, where inner knowledge and structure come together to form a harmonious whole. The path is about the integration of these forces into a unified expression. The third element, P, as the mouth, symbolizes the act of expression and communication, where the understanding of Binah is articulated and manifested into the beauty of Tifereth. It represents the combination of inner knowledge and harmonious form, giving voice to structured wisdom. The path from Netzach to Malkuth, associated with the letter Tzadi, meaning fishhook. This path signifies the descent of victorious energy from Netzach, representing eternity or victory, into the material world of Malkuth, known as the kingdom. It is about the process of drawing down spiritual success and materializing it into specific forms within the physical realm. This is where the victorious energy of Netzach is manifested into concrete, tangible forms within Malkuth. Tzadi, the 18th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, has a numerical value of 90 and is associated with righteousness, humility, and the concept of the righteous person, Tzaddik. In Kabbalah, Tzadi is linked to the idea of a righteous individual who serves as a bridge between the spiritual and material worlds, embodying the principle of divine justice. The shape of Tzadi, resembling a fishhook, emphasizes its role in drawing down spiritual energy into the material world. The division triad suggests the separation and differentiation that occurs as spiritual energy descends into the material world. The path reflects the division of this energy into distinct, tangible forms within Malkuth. The third concept here is Tzadi. In the path from Netzach to Malkuth, Tzadi's role as a fishhook is crucial, symbolizing the attraction and connection that brings the victorious energy of Netzach into the physical forms of Malkuth, ensuring that spiritual success is manifested in a tangible way. It represents the division and materialization of spiritual success into specific tangible expressions in the material world. The path from Had to Malkuth is symbolized by the letter Kaf. This path captures the connection between the reflective glory of Had, glory or splendor, and the material world of Malkuth, kingdom, emphasizing the influence of the subconscious on physical reality. It is about how the subconscious mind shapes and influences the manifestation of reality, linking inner states with external forms. Kof, the 19th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, has a numerical value of 100 and is associated with the back of the head, representing the subconscious mind and the hidden aspects of reality. Kof symbolizes the parts of consciousness that are not immediately visible, but nonetheless influence behavior and perception. In Kabbalistic tradition, Kof is linked to the idea of holiness and purity, as it is the letter that begins the word Kadash, meaning holy. The shape of Kof, with a small stroke extending below the line, signifies the connection between the higher and lower aspects of consciousness. In the path from Had to Malkuth, Kof's role is to channel the hidden subconscious forces of Had into the material reality of Malkuth, highlighting the influence of the unseen on the manifest world. The association triad suggests that what is subconscious in Had becomes associated and expressed in the physical form in Malkuth. The path from Had to Malkuth emphasizes the association between inner states, Had or glory, and their subconscious influence, Kaf, on the material world, Malkuth. This process is an associative relationship where inner glory and subconscious thoughts shape the material reality. The path from Had to Malkuth represents an association where glory and the subconscious mind actively work together to ensure the manifestation of the physical world. This connection highlights how inner states of glory are crucial in shaping the material reality. The path from Yesod to Tifereth associated with the letter Resh. This path signifies the ascent of the foundational energy of Yesod, foundation, into the balanced beauty of Tifereth, beauty. The concept here is elevated harmony, demonstrating the leadership and direction required to elevate the stable foundation of Yesod into the harmonious expression of Tifereth, where inner stability is realized in outward beauty and balance. It is about the realization of inner stability in a form that is harmonious and aligned with higher principles. Resh, the 20th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, has a numerical value of 200 and is associated with the head, leadership, and the beginning of a new cycle. Resh symbolizes the concept of renewal and the ability to see things from a higher perspective, often linked to the idea of repentance and turning towards a new path. In Kabbalah, Resh is connected with the idea of Rosh, meaning head or chief, representing leadership and direction. The shape of Resh, resembling a bent head, signifies humility and the readiness to lead by example. In the path from Yesod to Tifereth, Resh's role as a head is essential for guiding the ascent of foundational energy into the harmonious beauty of Tifereth, ensuring that the foundation is aligned with higher principles. The disassociation triad suggests a process where the stable base of Yesod disassociates from lower forms to align with the higher harmony of Tifereth. It reflects a refinement and elevation of energy from the foundation to a more sublime expression. The third concept here is Resh, symbolizing leadership and direction. Resh guides the ascent of Yesod's foundational energy into the harmonious beauty of Tifereth. The path from Yesod to Tifereth reflects disassociation, where the absence of leadership or direction leads to the failure to manifest both a stable foundation and beauty. Beauty cannot arise without the guiding force of leadership and the solidity of a foundation. The path from Had to Geburah, represented by the letter Shin, meaning tooth, symbolizes power and transformation. This path captures the transition from the reflective glory of Had, glory or splendor, to the disciplined severity of Geburah, severity or strength. It emphasizes the transformative power of discipline, where structure and boundaries refine and purify the energy of Had. Shin, the 21st letter of the Hebrew alphabet, has a numerical value of 300 and is associated with fire, transformation, and the process of refinement. Shin symbolizes the element of fire, which is both a destructive and purifying force, burning away impurities to reveal the essence. In Kabbalah, Shin is connected to the concept of divine judgment and the transformative power of discipline. The shape of Shin, with its three-pronged structure, is said to represent the three pillars of the Tree of Life: mercy, severity, and balance. In the path from Had to Geburah, Shin's role as a transformer is key, symbolizing the refining process where the glory of Had is disciplined and purified into the structured strength of Geburah. The integration triad reflects the process where discipline and structure integrate and transform the reflective energy of Had into a more focused and powerful form in Geburah. It is about the refining and strengthening of glory through discipline. The third concept here is Shin, meaning tooth, and representing transformative power. Shin symbolizes the ability to break down and refine energy through the application of disciplined force, transforming glory into a more focused and powerful expression within the Tree of Life as the disciplined force of Geburah. It signifies the integration of glory with the transformative power of structure and boundaries. Thus, the path from Had to Geburah involves the integration of glory and severity through transformative power. The combination of these forces ensures that neither glory nor severity is lost, leading to a balanced and integrated transformation. The path from Malkuth to Geburah, associated with the letter Tav, meaning cross or mark, symbolizes completion and truth. This path signifies the grounding of the disciplined, severe energy of Geburah, as severity or strength, in the material world of Malkuth kingdom. It is about how the severity of discipline is applied in the physical realm, breaking down and restructuring material reality to align with truth and completion. This symbolizes the process of bringing severity and discipline into the physical realm, where material reality is broken down and restructured to align with truth and completion, ensuring that the physical world reflects the higher principles of the Tree of Life. Tav, the 22nd and final letter of the Hebrew alphabet, has a numerical value of 400 and is associated with the concepts of completion, truth, and the fulfillment of purpose. Tav symbolizes the end of a cycle and the realization of potential, often linked to the idea of sealing or marking something as complete. In Kabbalistic tradition, Tav is connected with the concept of emet, meaning truth, which is seen as the final word of creation, representing the ultimate purpose and fulfillment of divine will. The shape of Tav, resembling a cross or a mark, signifies the finality and truth of a completed process. In the path from Malkuth to Geburah, Tav's role as a mark of completion is crucial, representing the grounding of disciplined energy into the material world, ensuring that physical reality aligns with higher truths and principles. The disintegration triad suggests a process where the material reality of Malkuth is broken down and restructured by the disciplined force of Geburah. It reflects the application of severity in the material world, leading to the disintegration of old forms and the creation of new, more truthful structures. The third concept here is Tav, meaning cross or mark. Tav symbolizes the process of completion and truth, representing the disintegration and reformation of material reality through the disciplined energy of Geburah. It signifies the breakdown of old forms and their restructuring to reflect higher principles of truth and completion in the material world. The path from Malkuth to Geburah teaches us the negations, where the absence of truth leads to the deterioration of both the kingdom and strength. Truth is necessary to prevent the collapse of both the material and structural elements. Our exploration of the 22 paths illustrates how divine energy flows from the highest, most abstract levels of existence, Keter, down through progressively more defined and structured stages, ultimately manifesting in the physical world, Malkuth. This flow is not just a simple descent, but a complex process involving various transformations and refinements. For example, the energy that begins in Keter, crown first passes through Chokmah, wisdom, and Bina, understanding, where it is given form and structure before continuing down the tree. Many paths highlight the need to balance opposing forces, such as the paths between chest, mercy, and Gebura, severity. These opposing qualities are essential to the structure of the Tree of Life, and their balance ensures that neither force dominates to the detriment of the other. The paths serve as channels through which these opposites can interact and harmonize, creating a balanced state in the central Sephiroth, such as Tiferet, beauty. The paths are also about bringing different energies into harmony. For example, Tiferet, positioned centrally on the tree, serves as a point where the energies from both the right and left sides of the tree, associated with mercy and severity, respectively, come together in a balanced and beautiful synthesis. The paths leading to and from Tiferet represent this harmonizing process where diverse qualities are integrated into a unified state. The paths between the Sephiroth, especially those connecting the higher Sephiroth, like Bina, to the lower ones like Gebura or Had, glory, represent the creation of structure and form. Bina, associated with understanding and structure, imposes limits and boundaries on the flowing dynamic energy from Chokmah, shaping it into something tangible and organized. The paths ultimately lead to the physical manifestation of spiritual energies, particularly through Yesod and Malkuth. The path from Yesod, foundation, to Malkuth, kingdom, is especially significant as it represents the final step in bringing divine energy into the material world. The 22 paths of the Tree of Life serve as a blueprint for both cosmic creation and personal spiritual development. They illustrate the complex interplay between divine qualities, the balance between opposing forces, and the transformation of energy from the abstract to the concrete. By understanding these paths, one can gain deeper insights into the nature of reality and the process of spiritual growth, recognizing how each stage of development is connected and how one can move toward a more integrated and harmonious state of being. The Tree of Life, through these paths, offers a profound model for understanding the divine and one's place within the broader cosmic order. Good luck on your journey.